All right, good morning, good people. I am tickled to death that you're here with me. Thanks again for joining. Today is Thursday, May 29th, and let's gonna jump right in here. I haven't opened up my charts yet. I'm just running behind. So, all right, I've got NinjaTrader running here, but before I turn them on, let me do a quick check on one or two items here. If you're joining me today, I'd love to have you just type a little comment in the chat box so I know you're around. Introduce yourself. Don't be shy. Today we're going to trade the Lion system, which is a scalping system, unconventional in many ways, and hopefully we'll shatter some myths that you might have about scalping in the futures markets. All right. All right, guys, so here is a chart, but before we do the charts, I'm gonna have a rundown of today's. Okay, so we just had two big reports of claims came out. I'm still running behind here. All right, we also had apparently a smart person's talking at 8:30. It's 8:47 right now. And 10 o'clock pending home sales. Nat gas report is coming out at 10:30. We've got a smart person talking, and at 10:40, petroleum status at noon. We'll keep an eye on crude at noon. We're hopefully going to be around here until 11 o'clock and take a look. You know, yesterday was a sleepy morning. We had one or two winners and then two or three, two small losers and a break even. So let's do a little better today. What do you say? But the market action picked up yesterday after the announcement. I think the FOMC minutes came out, right? 2 o'clock had the FOMC minutes release. I don't know why I'm still having trouble. Let me reconnect my data here. Hold on a second. Let's hope this data reconnect works. Try to get my natural gas back. Get my nat gas back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's taking its time, isn't it? Taking its sweet time. All right, well, let's take a look at crude here. Yesterday, after we left the show, we had a lovely short setup, two of them right here. So the market was sleepy all day in crude, didn't do too much. We had one, well, it didn't get overbought here, so we just didn't have any volatility during that open. But look at that, we shot up right at the 11:35, had a short signal here, had another short signal here. Both of them were winners in the Lion system. We came in the afternoon. We had one that just probably didn't hit the win. And then we had a couple of winners down here near the end of the day. So that's crude. How crude? I'm sorry. It must have been a term in the 80s. Don't be crude. All right, so we are oversold right now in crude, so that's good to take a look at. Yeah, I'm just not getting data in net gas. I'm not getting live data. Sorry, folks, nat gas might be off the table. Well, we got a beautiful setup here in soybean oil, but we'll see how it opens up. We've got another 40 minutes before we get any action in bean oil. So let's switch over here to, well, this is our floater chart. We'll pull up ags and meats on this chart. Well, let's skip that for now. Okay, moving on to copper, high grade copper. Wow, beautiful overbought condition in copper. However, we didn't get a complete uh, sell dot in Lion, so no trade there. Silver, yeah, this morning. Oh, copper was the one that kind of beat us up yesterday, so I want to see how copper played out on the times that we were away from the market. Yeah, so we had a break-even trade in copper, and then we had a loser here, and we didn't really get overbought or oversold the whole day, so it was sleepy. See, we never hit our channels. These pinstripe lines above and below the market are the channel lines. We hit it here on the overnight, so some action, but it didn't quite put in a buy or sell signal for us. All right, and today in copper we did have that set up, so here's silver. Silver, we have not hit overbought, oversold. There was a nice trade here, however, earlier in today. 6:30 while I was getting out of bed. 6:30 Eastern. This is a good lion system sell signal. We went overbought in silver, hit that sell signal right there and targeted right there. That was a good move. 150 in silver. This just touched overbought. This touched overbought. That just touched the entry level and bounced out. But right here, overbought, we hit our sell signal here, re-hit it again here. Both of them went to target. If that was available to you this morning. All right, so that's silver. Okay, what has gold got for us today? We are actually right at a sell level in gold. Just barely hit our overbought level. We haven't hit the entry price. We have volume delta. Now the lower chart here, the lion's claw, is a volume delta indicator showing that volume delta is dropping while price just reached a new high. So that's a divergent good sell signal. So weakening price movement. And the only strike against this is we do have this tendency histogram. Tendency histogram for gold at this time of day shows that historically gold likes to be above the yellow trend line. And there is a weakening to that. It does tend to hit the yellow trend line and come below it on an average kind of basis, on average. But this is a definitely a potential sell. What I would like to see it do is push through the entry price and come back to it. For instance, this one, although we didn't hit overbought here, this one did touch the entry level. Again, this is not a valid setup because we didn't hit overbought yet. And it bounced off of that. So it hit that entry level. It did not really push through it, just touched it and did a reversal. And the volume started rising pretty quickly here. So not a short setup yet, but with weakening net delta, that would be an interesting situation, interesting trade going short. Our target would be right there, the 61 level, which is maybe we'd switch not for the 61 level, but for the the yellow trend line. That is our other target, which is valuable. All right, gold is finding a burst of net delta and moving up in price. Where does that leave us with the YM? NASDAQ, this is a daily chart of the NASDAQ, so we're reaching new highs yesterday, and well, today we are anyway. So the YM is just flirting with the oversold, hasn't quite dipped its toe into that level. It did so here during some real low volatility times, but no signal was generated. This is a valid buy signal, which did hit target. We went oversold, and this was at 3 in the morning, so at European open time in London. We did hit the oversold. We did 2 touches into oversold, which is a significant situation. And then we hit the buy level here, and either you target it out at the trend line or at the Fibonacci level. Those are both good. Another good trade was right here. We had overbought with these yellow dots and went short here. A little tougher. We're near the 100. The yellow line is 100 moving average. No massive secret there. All right, so here's a situation where it was a loser. We're overbought, strongly overbought. We just dipped our toe into that entry price and price reacted against it. Another situation was right here. Now, both of those were areas where there was still some strong, well, this one had some weakness. So I'm looking at the net delta volume. So if order flow was dropping off, this would have got us. All right. This one, however, with strong buying volume, I would have been cautiously entering that trade. 5, so almost 11 o'clock at night in Eastern time. Somebody in Australia is having fun with the YM. All right, so we're keeping an eye out for that. The YM, the Russell have not hit oversold. We did hit it a little bit here earlier in the morning. That little trade might have gotten us into trouble. Again, we just pushed above it and reversed out. This was a little bit of a flush reversal. We had a pin bar closing downward and on rising net delta, positive net delta. So that's a divergent signal. Yeah, I mean, it could have been trouble for you if you were trading the lion. All right, let's see what the Russell has for us. It's 9 o'clock, coming up on 9 here. All right. Well, technically this is a winner. So we went oversold in this market. It took a while, but then we did get a lion buy dot form. That took us in right here. Now that was a solid push above the buy level. You see that green candle right here. That green candle definitely pushed through our buy level and even retraced back to it. And we pushed up to the first target hit and second target hit. That was a valid lion buy signal. volume was getting weaker, right? It was strengthening. It was going to the positive side, positive net delta, and finally pushed through just on this little guy down here. So yeah, I mean this is a good long situation. You see the tendency histogram, this magenta bar in the background is showing that typically this market has historically in recent history been below the 100 moving average, and that's what it was today, that's for sure. All right. Now the Lion system is a mean reversion scalping system. So we're looking to trade back to that yellow line. That's our basically our second target or a very important target. And we have some diversions going on here. So it's primarily a mean reversion. So we go overbought historically speaking, and that's when we get these yellow dots to print. And we'll be selling below structure support. Now this was almost a lion sell dot right here. Almost right there was a lion level. So that would have tempted me to go short right here when we hit that guy. Stop would have been above the swing, and target would have been the 100 moving average, right? So this is copper. And right now, it's not doing too much else. So there are also trend trades, and we're looking at ways of trading that. I'm not so convinced of them. Uh, Things like this pique my interest, though. We move below the 100. I actually like the idea of once it rejects off the 100 to be buying above this swing here. So if the basically buy off of a rejection of the 100, but it's got to break structure. So it didn't really break structure here. Instead, it actually plummeted down, right? You might be, if you're a bold trader, gone short here. I wouldn't have, but that's fine. It would have hit target. Just hit that target there. It's just choppy here. So the idea, the theory, is between these two channel levels. Again, channels are these pinstripes areas. These blocks are the channel areas. Between those is this black zone, which is the 90% of the time price just is between there. That's how usually the price is near the 100. And 90% of the time it's near the 100 MA in this region of area, this price region. Sometimes it exceeds it. 10% of the time it has exceeded this upper level or this lower level, like here. So 10% of the time it pushed through that into that zone. And that's an interesting idea. So we're 10%, we're in kind of the rare situation or the rare price location based on historical data. So we look to be sellers when price has moved far from the 100. This would have been a beautiful trade. Look at all that big push in net delta coming in right off of the overbought level. See? That would have been very nice. Very nice. All right, MCL. What was our next? I don't know what happened at 8:30 here, but our next announcement is at 10 o'clock, so we got an hour. 9:04 right now as I speak. We are oversold in crude. We are oversold in the crude. Oversold, and the net delta is negative. It is definitely looking to go further south, but we are oversold. So again, we're in the 10% of the region. Price doesn't get here very often. It gets here only 10% of the time. Yeah, just my nat gas just isn't working. Sad, because I really like natural gas. Let's reload history on that, see if it wakes up. Yeah, I'm still not getting data. Hmm. Anyway, oh, we didn't look at micro Bitcoin yet. Micro Bitcoin on a 1 minute chart's a little choppy. I'm going to change this. Leto channels, the channel indicator can run on any time frame, but we like it on minute data. It can run on any bar type. However, it gets really choppy if you don't have it sequenced in a time sequenced manner. So 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute is good. This is a 2 minute chart. One other thing, Leto channels is really only, well, it is only available in the intraday time frame. It's not meant for daily bars. It's not meant for, anything like weekly or monthly, obviously, but we're looking for that 1, 2, and 3 minute time frame because it uses 1, 2, 3 minute data to calculate the overbought oversold levels. So only is going to be running on a small time frame chart. Bollinger Bands is obviously you can run it on any bar type. It doesn't matter. But we're the next level of Bollinger Bands. We're improvement on Bollinger. We're using historical data to show what Bollinger could be and what it typically is. That's the important thing. We're calculating Bollinger ahead of itself. All right. So we do have in crude, we have a buy level right here. There's a big rejection in price, and it was a thrust bar reversal. So positive net delta, see that little gray histogram is above zero, and it was a big pin bar showing that it might have been a big buyer that stepped in, but it was not followed by other buyers, and the price moved lower. Where's copper hiding? Copper is just hovering around 100. Doesn't interest us. Silver is moving a little further south. All right, well, gold had a really big push in delta, along with that move into overbought, and it just petered out. So delta is down. This could be a good sell level, and it's a tight target to the 100. That would be our guess. So I'm going to get set up for a short trade in gold here at 9:08 in the morning. Doing an unconventional placement of the order. See if we get filled there at a place where there's some resistance, overhead resistance in this little zone. This is our first stop, so I'm going to do a buy stop there. And our target will be placed down at the 100. Let's see if we can get that filled in there. This is our first position. If we, our first trade of the day. A lot of buy volume coming in silver. Oh, that gas is dead. The dead chart. being a little picky on my price. I'm not going to chase it. Let it come to me. And there we go. So we're good on the short in gold. I've set my target down here. Now I don't like it already. Hmm. Right, I'm prepared to jump out. I don't have to be a hero on this one. I could jump out early. Because you know why? We can always re-enter. All right, it just hit its overbought level again. Hit the overbought level because it just went above this bottom of these pinstripes. That's a really good sign. That is a thrust reversal. So positive net delta with a falling price. Nice pin bar. Certainly could show the way down to lower prices. I'm going to move my target up a little bit because the 100 is moving up. Critical level here. This could be now support for a bounce upward. This is the battle line in gold right there. Again, I'm pretty light on my contracts. I'm only 3 micro gold into this. Yeah, okay, well that's a good sign, but now we've got the next critical level, which is this kind of a rising trend line, right? You got to push down through that in order to get to the 100. We are short in gold, everybody. 33.37, man. $3,300 gold. Not liking it. Stalled out. Might just end this trade because I'm not too excited about it just hovering here. This is an area of demand. This is where people stepped in and bought, and people might just jump right in again and buy. A rising trend here. People are buying at higher prices. And net delta is positive. I don't like that. There's more buying at the offer than there is selling at the bid. All right, now we're at another critical level. That rising trend line could be a problem. Tell you what, I'm gonna reduce my contracts. I'm gonna go. All right, so I just terminated my took a couple off. So we bagged some profit. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm gonna do a buy stop here. We're only in it for one contract right now, and I'll tell you what, Let's move it to break even. So basically a risk-free position here. Yeah, so we're out, and that's fine. That is fine. So we just netted, I think, 11 ticks, 12 ticks. I think it's 11. All right. Well, that's good. Glad we got out. Just the net delta just wasn't cooperating. We still have a tendency to be upward in general. And we snagged a little scalp. Ain't too bad. So that's one win. We're shooting for the 100, but too much just support right here. We have a nice horizontal price support. Let's take a look, see what else we got going on here. What else is going on in the market today? Hmm. Crude is a do nothing market. It is, we've got a rising wedge here and we have a falling price there. All right, a little divergence piques my interest. Again, this would be the buy level, 61, 65. Hmm. Micro Bitcoin. Now this is the spot Bitcoin price, $108,000 spot. Well, we did have a trade earlier today in Bitcoin. Would have been going short right here. Stop would have been up here. Target was hit in just a moment or two. One of my markets of interest here is Solana. It's another crypto. It could be a wild one. Excuse me. Good short trade there. A bad buy trade here. We got stopped out there, but we did hit target here. Hmm. Back to normal, normal programming. Gold is just fighting us on the shorts. $9.19 in the morning. Sleepy market otherwise. One thing I'm going to do with Tiger Claw down here, these levels, these historical gray lines, they're only looking at current action. And so I think I've got it set to a 100 bar look back. So it's just printing the highest high of the last 100 bars. And that, it's a rolling 100 bar look back. What I'm going to do is switch that so that I can look at this time of day on this day of the week is what levels are common so that I can look at it historically and see, okay, I'd be able to judge this action against similar days of the week, times of day, and say, okay, well, this is outstanding for this time of day and this day of the week. That's important information, right? Because Monday's data is going to be a little different than Tuesday's. Monday's ranges are usually different than Tuesday's ranges, and that's some good information. A little more discriminating. Hold, found, look at that support. Hmm. Yeah, we got a couple ticks. Got 11 ticks out of that trade. A lot of buy volume. 9:22, got 8 minutes for the New York Open. Would have been a good trade had we entered oversold level. This was a good buy signal, and it hit target. All right, well, the Ags are going to open up in 7 or 8 minutes here. So in case you don't know, the grains go to sleep between 8:45 and 9:30. They're still trading, which is odd. There's still some trading going on. You'll if you got a trade open during that period, you could get hit with a target or a stop, usually a stop. So you do not want to be in the market prior to this reset period, which I don't understand. If somebody out there can explain it to me, I'd be happy to listen. Don't know why it just closed down for 45 minutes before the open. Somebody's still trading it. It does not seem fair to me. What do I know? Somebody came in and smacked the bid on silver at this time. Negative 125-ish on the net delta, 126. In here. So volume there was 60. Volume on the next candle was 323. Hmm. Glad we got off the gold train. Gold is overbought. Pretty solid. Copper went to sleep. Silver is it's trickling northward. Now this is the trend trade setup that I would pay attention to. I'm encouraged when we first break the 100 after a prolonged down below the 100. We first break the 100, we hit it, We've got to see if we find support there. And then a break northward above here, I would consider to be a good trend trade. Net delta should still be positive when we get back up here, right? We want to see buyers stepping in. So this might be a trend trade in the YM. We've got 5 minutes to the open. Hey Aaron, thank you for joining me. I see your post there. Cool, Aaron. Really encouraged to have you here. Thanks. All right. Well, we've got another 4 minutes here before the open. I don't know if you can hear it, but this morning is garbage truck morning, and my dog is hates the garbage man. Hates him or loves him, I can't tell, but definitely not indifferent. So he'll bark away. All right. Well, there's a good. This is a flush reversal. Why did my why that is? All right, crosshair. I want this to be dot. So this is a nice flush reversal candle. We had a strong net delta negative, but it closed on a pin bar up higher. That is an interesting candle coming into the open at the 100. And again, I mentioned the trend trade, so this could be setting up for a good trend push on the open. What sizing would you use, right? That's the next question. So it's a $24 risk in the MYM. You can see in the bottom right, my risk numbers here are showing $300 my total risk, so $23 in distance risk. That's the size of that distance in dollars. So trading 13 contracts would equal roughly just under $300. I don't think I want to trade that much on an open YM open trend trade. Trend trades are not my friend usually. Here's another setup for a long. All right, so this is a $63 distance in the MNQ. So I like the MNQ a little better. We've got a tendency histogram, again, statistically relevant. The average position of the MQ between this time and this time is above the 100, so that gives us encouragement to go long. It had some pretty good size reversal candles with negative delta. That's really good. See, we are at 9:30 right now. I just opened the market. All right, so I put a buy stop for 3 contracts here, and I'll just shoot out a target up there. We'll see if that is meaningful or not. I think the market is certainly opening lower. Let's see where Bean oil is massively down on massively positive net delta. 2K MYM. Oh, not too much risk on this trade. Possible trade in the MNQ. Actually, let's cancel that because it really, one of my rules on trend trades is it's got to stay above the 100. I want to be with that trend, so we're already pretty shot on that one. It's definitely not above the 100. God bless you, Aaron. Glad to have you here. Let me know if you have any questions. Really big sell volume. Negative 1816. What's the volume here? The volume is already 733, 1708 on the prior candle at the open. All right, we're looking for overbought, oversold. Our first criteria. We're coming into getting closer to the oversold that's down here. So getting there. Oh, the M2K is almost there. So we're entering that area. The Nazi is not too far away. The Russell, we got the Dow. Gold is up here now. We do have a sell signal in gold. If we can get back down here and the net delta settles down, that would be a great short opportunity. Tendency histograms are showing negative. So that's encouragement a little bit. Tendency histograms are not super strong. This is telling us that the market has behaved in the past that way. So past performance is not an indication of future results. A guarantee? What's the wording on that? Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Maybe that's it. The only problem is, like when you approach a chair, let's say you're walking into a room and there's a chair there that you've never sat on before. So how do you know it's going to support your weight, right? Well, my past performance shows that when I sit on similar chairs, they don't fall apart. And we sit on them thinking that they'll support our weight, and they usually do, but I guess it is possible that it falls apart. Copper is just boring today. Man, yesterday and today. I got suckered into two copper trades yesterday. One was break even, right? One was a little tick. I think we got a tick out of it. Or I think we took a loss on one. I think I took a loss on one. I don't want to bring you guys into it. Yeah, so we lost there. And we did have one that was a break even. Aaron, if you're still with me, let me know. I'd like to send you some of my free indicators. Let me know if you're interested. Okay, well, we did hit our sell target in gold and it's reversing. So I do like the depth of penetration though into our out of overbought and past our entry levels. So why don't we see this? They've got 5 contracts. Let's do, let's take a little bit of the risk off and do 3 contracts to go short if we hit that level again. So smaller risk position here at that entry price. This will be our target, so we already know that ahead of time. So potential short here in gold, we do have a little weakening in the net delta. Not so much. I want to see this thing plummet, obviously. Market looks a little confused on gold. We got a nice reversal downward here after a big push upward. All right, we're short now in 3 contracts on the micro gold. If it doesn't go my way right away, I'll be out of here. I'm going to be stingy, put my buy stop just above that rejection level. Let's see if we can get some legs on gold. Let's see. Well, that's looking encouraging. Yeah, look at that though, where that demand came in before, right at this support level. There we go. Gold is touchy right now. I do see net delta going negative. That's a good sign, right? Well, I'm gonna move my stop to be a really aggressive break even plus. Net delta is turning neutral. It was negative, now it's moving a little bit positive. Oh, good. We're coming near our target. Oh, and then we're not. Error. More moves here in gold. Little flick of the tail would be at our target. I'm ready to jump out though, because gold could reverse. Lock in a little bit more equity. All right, folks, we hit a second win today, everybody. All right, where did I go short here? I think I went short there, right? Didn't I? Yeah, there it is. Hard to find it. Well, that's good news. Who's joining me today? Aaron, are you still around? I got a winner chicken dinner. Praise the Lord. God is good today. Two shorts in gold, two wins. Just hit our target. Lovely. All right. Oh, look at silver. Lovely. Falling out of bed. Let's do a quick. Oh, copper, you're killing me. You're doing nothing. All right. The bean oil is decisively oversold. Looks like cheaper gas prices are in our future. Gold is revisiting our exit price. That's fine. Do what you want to do, gold. Go where you want to go. I'm happy. M2K, almost oversold. Looking like we hit a floor. Yeah, well, NASDAQ is definitely oversold. Look at that net delta. Screaming. See, but this is where I'm talking about would be good. I'm going to do a revamp to the code. I want to know ahead of time, historically, what is an overbought, oversold level, or extreme level, I should say, in net delta. So I'm going to make that code change. It's not insignificant. A lot of code to change to do that, but a smarter indicator would give that kind of context. And I'm all about smart context. What do I know? Well, I'm happy about my wins in gold today. Oh, look who just touched oversold in silver. Silver is a bigger contract though, be careful. Our position sizing is based on a fixed dollar amount. Now, whatever your number is, uh, the extension 62 indicator, the one that's plotting these dots and these blue risk lines and the blue targets and the red targets, that is what's calculating this risk number here. So as I move my cursor to different swings, the risk number changes. And silver is such a big contract and the volatility is such today that it's just hard to risk $300 and still get a valid trade. So I don't trade silver very often because I exceed my risk. Like this move here, that's a $1,125 move. And I'm a little cheap. I'm a little stingy. So $300 is my max risk. Copper is. Seems like everyone is happy with the current price of copper. Nobody is upset. It's just hanging there. Mm-mm. Look at that. Gold did hit the 100. That was our second target in gold. But you know what? I'm happy. I got my 30 ticks on the last trade. We got 11 ticks on the first. I don't know what it is, but I tell you, sometimes people are watching the 100 moving average on the minute chart. Okay, I'm telling you, look at that. Support right at the 100. Somebody out there, smart people. What was our news again? All right, we got a 10 o'clock release pending home sales, and that's in 12 minutes. Yeah, Aaron, I've used Ninja since 2007. Pretty sure it was seven. I don't think I was in 2006 yet. So it's back then it was Ninja 6.5. Been around. It's a crazy world. Well, looks like NQ gave up its gains overnight. We are right at this is a daily chart, so right at some good support here. Not too shabby. Now I like to see MCL. We're getting net delta is moving to the north. Wow, silver's net delta definitely reversed. Gold and silver are both hitting the gas pedal. I found copper definitely has its own beat. It doesn't move with gold and silver. Copper being an industrial metal, and I guess silver and gold just aren't as sensitive to that. I am a black belt, Dan 8. I've actually in my business I've coded over 1100 NinjaTrader indicators, drawing tools, decision support tools in NinjaTrader. So I've been around, left my mark, I'm sure, on many traders' desktops. Look at that, good divergence. So downward price, upward delta. A gutsy trader would have gone long right there. Great, I'll check for that message, Aaron. I'm going to be signing off here in about an hour. What do you like to trade, or what's your history? Just flatline here. All right, we're coming out of the oversold in the bean oil. Before we do that, I want to do a quick jump over to one of my favorite foods, being cattle. All right, well, we're up, not really oversold there, overbought, I mean. Now, feeder cattle. Feeder cattle are the ones they're feeding and getting ready to slaughter. Lean hogs. I think we had some trades in lean hogs yesterday. Yeah, we had one loser. Just didn't pan out for a $40 loss. Later in the day, had a good setup, went oversold. This is yesterday's action right there. We had a trade right there. Doesn't take much to be a profitable trader. Yeah, I mean, it could have held on to it the whole day, would have been beautiful, but buy signal was right here. Target was achieved right at the 100 MA, but price moved up. Now this is what I was talking about. A trend trade is it pushes above the 100, comes down, tests the 100, and then moves above that swing level. So that would have been, and then the target was right here. You can just see it. That was the target on that trend trade. Breakout above a 100 line rejection. I think that might be the trade I stick with for trend trading. And it could run for a while. This one ran the rest of the day. All right, well, that's lean hogs. Where are we at with our... All right, well, we did hit an entry level, but it just touched it, and I'm not convinced yet. I need to see a push through that level, and then a retracement back to it. That's probably the best signal. If we do go long, it's only going to be 3 contracts, so I have traded some options. I started trading back in the early 1990s and doing a little testing with commodity options back then, because actually the day trading requirements were pretty much lower than equities are. And I think I only opened up a $2,000 account. Lind Waldock, I remember that, and I traded some options and I lost most of that money over time. Okay, I think we're gonna look at Let's plumb the depths here. We are long in bean oil. Again, well, the tendency histogram is down, but that's not super authoritative again. And maybe we'll get stopped out. We'll see. Hmm. I do have a target at our 62% extension off of that swing. So, Mr. Bean Oil Market, you can move up if you want. Again, the target is $54 away. $6 tick in bean oil. Oh, good question. Thanks. Stop loss is so high on this trade. Yeah, I guess I'm feeling a little skittish on this one. But yeah, normally I put a stop down here. Now that's the full risk of a $300 uh, trade there, $90, and I've got 3 contracts. So that is the normal initial risk. Yep, you're 100% right. I'm really encouraged by that. Thank you, buddy. So yeah, I would have put a stop down here and well, there we go. We just got hit with our stop. But now we get the option of going on another entry. So yeah, we got stopped out on the first one. And maybe the market will continue south, but if it comes back again, we have a chance to enter long again. So I'm not going to ride it all the way down. The net delta really moved negative. But it came in and hit that market hard. 367 contracts. This is trading. This is just how it goes. All right. Oversold in silver. Oh, there we go. Copper woke up. Gold came back to the 100. A little risky here because we have strong selling delta. All right, well, we're long again in beans, oils. Well, the net delta didn't stop this bar from closing up. I like that idea. So that's a little bit of a flush reversal. If this one doesn't work out, then I'll just be not interested in the beans because it's just not responding. This guy has not made up his mind, has it? Hmm. The drama. Could cut it with a knife. Yeah, that's it about trading, huh? The drama. We love the drama. It's like watching a good Netflix episode of Bosch. Not familiar with that one. I'll take a look. ICT. Oh, we're pos. Oh, okay. Well, we had a positive print there for a moment. Crazy idea. Bean oil is just not cooperating, guys. Let's take a look what we're missing out on here in the rest of the world. Silver's oversold. Copper's oversold. Other than that, oh, there's a possible buy level here. Just big sell-off in micro NQ. Like we got stuck in a channel in bean oil. Hmm. Got stuck in a sideways move in the bean oil. Yeah, just too thin today. Oh, that one had some slippage on it too. No, didn't work out. My little experiment. All is not lost, my friend. We are still alive. This is setting up very nicely. Well, my risk is a little heavy, 388. I would probably put my risk right down there. 237 would be that distance. This is shaping up nicely here, my friend. We got tendency is up in the future. We've got net delta is just starting to get positive. Let's do a ATM strategy template on this guy. So we had a double touch of oversold. You can see that we were oversold. We moved out of oversold. Pinstripe started printing again. We moved back into it. Net delta is still positive. I like to see a double touch of being oversold. All right, so I gotta buy. I'll tell you what, let's move it up here. Well, the equities are having a bearish morning. 10 o'clock. What do we have going on at 10? We had pending home sales don't look so good for the equities. Again, our risk here is going to be $250. Crude is getting cheap. I'm liking this setup, guys. I'm liking this setup. We do have a nice rising net delta in copper. That tendency is positive. Everything is just falling out of bed today here. Don't like the daily is looking pretty bearish. All right, M2K finally went oversold. MicroNAS has a new buy level right here. Silver is coming out of oversold. Nice move up. Tendency is strong, but it's a tough market to trade. I don't have a lot of equity to play around with. And 11 in the morning. Even the mighty Bitcoin is taking a tumble. Well, Aaron, look, if we had to put our stop down here on two half trades, we would have got stopped out in the bean oil. So we have six of one, half dozen of another. It just was not going to happen. Hmm. Silver. Thinking in another bar or two, we'll have a buy dot on silver here. There's a good setup, Aaron. We've got a tendency histogram that's still positive in the Russell here. We can do four contracts. Oh no, actually 14. I think I've got a limit at 10 right now. Let's see if we come back and hit our fill. Now there's not going to be a dot here because the swing just missed this one. One, two, three, 4 bars is what we need for the swing. I'm going to go ahead and be a little preemptive on it. Let's see if we can get our fill price. I will put the stop down here, Aaron, at the bottom of that swing. All right, so we are long in the Russell. Now our target would be that 61.8 level. So let's do half of our position off at 61.8, and then we're going to let a little runner go back to the 100. Ah, good, good post there. Talk about cutting losses. I'm thinking about doing that here. Russell is giving me some trouble. All that on positive net delta too. So the market is having some trouble with me. All right, silver's going lower. It's the way of going today, my friend. Yeah, minimum bar count on some of these. So yeah, nothing doing. Is dipping its toe back into oversold. YM, Russell. That Micronaz has been decidedly down. Well, I'm currently down 1.5 R. See if we can pick it up. Got another 40 minutes of trading. I'm gonna hold off on copper here. Gotta prove itself to me. And that means it's got to push through on a thrust above our entry level. It's got to give some indication that that level is weakened. I'm going to wait for that to occur. A little bit of confirmation. And we got some two good thrust reversals here. Negative delta with an upward pin bars. What did gold do? Oh, NYM. Russell is still going down. NASDAQ is finding a little bit of a bottom. I think this market's gonna reverse here shortly. I really do. I think the equities are still gonna push higher. That's a daily view. I mean, we're still above our. This is a big breakout to me right here in late April. It was the reverse came in. There's gold, silver, copper. People just fell out of bed here. Gave us an opportunity to buy. YM, Russell. Nazi. Call it the nasty. Hmm. All right, well, this is live cattle up here in the overbought region. Feeder cattle, that's overbought. Feeder cattle gets a little sketchy with the spread. And then we have lean hogs. Not much going on there. The spread, I actually have a one of my free tools I offer is these two lines right here. I just print I have an indicator that prints those two, but the bid and ask, current bid and ask level, so I can see what that is visually. Yeah, so if you want that, let me know. I'll be happy to share it with you. Live cattle here is looking for our tendency lines are negative. I do see a divergence, falling net delta, rising price. That's interesting. There's no action today, right now, anyway. Gold is hugging its 100. You'd see it jump around on those larger markets. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the bid and ask to come in. I mean, right now it's only one or two ticks, but this thing can get very wide very quickly. And it's just by me watching that market, I've seen it get, much wider. The agriculturals they can be wide. And these meats too. Copper isn't so thin, isn't so efficient either. It's usually jumpy. And you can tell by the bid and ask volume on ChartTrader and Ninja. Hmm. Just don't see a lot of conviction. Now, this is the Russell. It's got some historical upside we're coming into, but right at 11, when I close down the room, there's usually some action. So I missed out yesterday on some trades. It's usually a 10:30 reversal in crude. One of the common reversal times is crude at 10:30. So we are right at 10:30 now. And crude is waking up. Potential buy here, crude oil. I'm gonna go in a small position. We get down to a little bit better price, but I can leg in. That delta's moving up. We got oversold coming out of oversold. Tendency is a little wishy-washy. Hmm. All right, we are long a little position in crude. I might be buying another two or I can trade up to 10 on this one. All right, so I'm long 4 now. Mm-mm. All right, MCL, Lion, Silver. Oh, well, N Cube hit our buy level. That's an interesting one. MCL, yeah, we're pushing higher. In crude, all right, well, I'm long 10 right now. Hmm. Seeing some signs of life here. That would have been a good trade. Hmm. What else is going on here in the world? Gold, silver, copper just never pulled out of this. Never quite pulled out there, that copper. Right. Yeah, that's good, Aaron. Want to be careful. I mean, I'm leveraging in, I'm stepping in because I came in very light and I wanted to see if price responded in the right direction. Well, now it's doing a little bit of a stutter step, but I tightened up my risk too, so I won't get hit too hard if it does. Hmm. And that delta is weakening. Mm-mm. Take a quick look at our news. Oh, that gas came out. Boy, sleepy, huh? Just sleepy. Let's see if we can get a rally out of here. Our tendency window is closing. Hmm. Okay. Look at equities. I don't have that turned on. Hmm. I like that Nasdaq chart, but I just don't see much action, right? Hmm. 10:45 in the morning. Hmm. Well, we might get hit in crude right now. Oh, gold is oversold. Volatility really dropped this time of day. That delta, huh, just went to nil. Looky there, Aaron. Looky there. We might have some action here. All right. Well, I'm gonna get a little cheeky here. We're gonna do. Let's take a little bit on each of our targets, and then we will run the rest. Yeah, let's take a look at gold. Gold is, yeah, it's just really tight to the 100. I mean, this would be the buy level. I'm already above the 100. It's not something I do. Yeah, so I'm taking one at this first target, which was based on this swing here. One off. I'll get another one off at my original target, which is based on that swing. Another one. So I'm in for 10 contracts, so I've got some scaling out I can do. And so if we get 6 out on the way up, I've got 4 that'll go the distance to the other side of the channel. All right, well, one position's off. Let's see, we got another one coming in here. Oh, this is actually pretty good. Guess we can move our stop here. I'm gonna move this guy down to the 100. So close, Aaron. It's so close. All right. Wow. We hit all 3, my friend. Oh, okay. For the entry on this one? Yeah. So I entered down here on the first one. And that's a really good question. So here's the original level. Let me draw a blue line here. Uh, I was waiting for it to show a little bit of break above that level before I went in. And so I held off a little bit. I like retreating down to this price. So there's a little, uh, let me see if I can draw a rectangle here. This area is an area of uh, interest, right? So this is where traders like to trade. It's just a horizontal ledge. We have a ledge right in here. We have a ledge that came out in that area. So breaking above that area of interest, I was waiting for it to come back in, serve as a little springboard. So typically the stop would be on the bottom side of this. I think I had to stop all the way down here, but I eventually moved it up a little bit. You saw that. Technically, based on this entry, we could have gone long right at that hit. The market did show some, it didn't go down to our stop. Initial stop down here or here, either one of those 2 levels. We're not even approached. So, I mean, the original set of rules, entry rules, yeah, they definitely would have worked on this trade, but I was playing a little cautious. My dang emotions get into it. All right, well, that's going pretty good. So, copper, look at copper, finally broke a resistance here. Gold's at the 100. What did MNQ do? MNQ is looking pretty good. Russell Baby is above the entry price here. So in that same vein, I mean, if you wanted to get a conservative entry, this area right there is an area, the flat top, there was demand broke out of that area because the candle moved out. So this could be another area of demand right down there. Let's see where my crude is. Crude is doing superbly. Now this was based on that 1030 reversal I mentioned. 1030 is a time when the crude market reverses. That's kind of like an old historical pattern, the 1030 reversal. A really strong positive delta here. Now, also, we're coming into a zone that was a little riskier too. This is area of supply. When candles go back and forth like this, traders are happy to trade there, right? If there's volume, there's really no net delta. I don't know what the total volume is here. It might be kind of light, but once it breaks out of there, a decision is made and people start selling. So this is an area now of supply. Nobody wants to be there. It traded downward. So that's a natural area of resistance going upward. People, for some reason, sold here. They weren't interested in higher prices. So definitely showing a little bit of weakness at that level right now. For his positive net delta this whole time. We are getting close to the 100. Gold is just hugging that 100. So we did move oversold on a really tightly closed oversold level. I don't know what I'm talking about, that tightly closed. It was near to the 100. So this one is certainly far from the 100. This one here, that zone is near the 100. Yeah, I'm a little concerned it'll be reversed at that level. I like this. Good, strong buying activity in it. YM is languishing. Russell baby has moved almost to its target. This would have been a lion entry signal here, right? Could retrace down there. That delta is a little weak, not really exciting. Uh, that was the trade right there, my friend. Missed opportunity. That delta woke up. That move upward. Tendency is up, up, up. So it's shaping up for a trend trade, right? If we go above here, nice, and retrace back to it and then break above it, that zigzag, I would go buying above that break um, for a trend. Yeah, well, we stepped into a little bit of a resistance. All right, so stop is moving right below that candle. A lot of good buying volume. So we're still on the right side of that one. Dow waking up along with Russell and the NASDAQ. Ah, 11 o'clock. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to exit, at least to pull off one here. See if we can hit those. That delta is taking a tumble. See if our 100 will serve as a springboard, right? The magenta arrows, those are exits of pulling off contracts. That's just trade indicators, trade markers. In Ninja, if you go short or exit a long position, you'll get one of those markers. In the platform, it's called show markers. If you go to the data series and scroll down, you can see plot executions. You can do markers only, which is what I have it set to. Do not plot, or you can text and marker. So it'll do a little text of your exits there. Ooh, that 100, Matt, Aaron, look at that, huh? I'm feeling good about that 100, so let's cancel that. We're going to hold off for the full thing. Let's see if crude can be revitalized. Get another push up there. Yeah, that 100. So we're up on weakened net delta. Don't like that. So another tighter stop move. Let's get up below that 100. That is the critical zone right there, my friend. Is there too much supply or are people interested in buying? Yeah, the last TP was right around the middle of that zone, so it would have hit it. Hmm. Doesn't look too promising there. All right, gold is moving up here. We got the YM. Oh, look at that. Oh, we just got stopped out. All right, well, the crude trade is over. Just didn't work out. Yeah, that was a high placement for that. I was pulling for the opposite channel, so that was aggressive. I should have read the room on this one though. Lower, net delta shows buying interest, and it just tested that high, and it didn't like it. But it looks like I got ticked out on the bottom tick there. That's all right. Hey, you know what? You get what you get. You don't have a fit. Copper, silver, gold is moving higher. YM. Russell hit that 100. MA. Go to Nazi. A lot of buying volume here. A lot of buying. That could have been a trend trade right there. It was a little soft. Not too excited. Big move in that metal. Copper has just been pooping out here. Very tired. All right, Aaron. Well, this is how it went today. I'm down 1R today, so not too bad. How is your trading? Would you trade anything today? That's cool. All right. Well, my friend, we're past the 11 o'clock mark here. I'm gonna wrap it up. Really appreciated you joining me. So thanks again. Good. Good for you. Um, all right. Well, let me check for that email. Hold on. Why is my email being so slow? Email is slow to respond here, so let's see. Hold on. Brood is selling off. I don't know if you've got a chart open. My internet connection is weak too. Really not happy with Florida internet. All right. I just woke up, so let's see. Yeah, I'm not quite seeing any email from you. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any. Israel. Oh, God bless you. I love Israel. Been there. I've been there twice. Yeah. I don't know if you're still there, Aaron, but just put in my email address. Try and send it to that email. Mm. Yeah, I bet. I really enjoyed being there. I was staying in a kibbutz in Yad Shmona. I don't know if you've heard of that, but I don't even know if it's still around. I assume it is. I haven't been there in, gosh, I actually last time I went was 2000, May of 2000 I was there. All right, thank you for sending that. Hmm. What part of Israel are you in? Yad Shmona still there. It's a great little place. Yad Shmona. Remember the eight. right? Oh, okay. Are you on the Med, or are you inland, or I didn't get up to Tel Aviv. I flew into it, but I didn't hang out in it. Ah, I got your email. Yes, it was in a spam. All right, Aaron, I got your email, and I'll send you the bid and ask display indicator. I also have that little P&L auto summarize P&L tool. If you draw a ruler on the chart and change the color, it'll auto summarize the ticks that are showing there. What else? And hey, if you do want to, if you do need, remote support, let me know. We can do a session together. Do it all the time. All right. Well, it's 11:16 here in Eastern Time. It's been a pleasure. God bless you, Aaron. I'm going to sign off for now, and it's been fun, really. Thanks for joining me. God bless you all, everybody. Have a good day, and we'll be back Tuesday of this upcoming week. All right. Take care.